University, the voice of Reichman University.
The Baseline. Stories from the court with Jonathan Rears and Nzeakor.
What's going on, Baseline fam? We're back with another episode. It's Jonathan Rears here with Nzeakor, and we got Josh Nzeakor with us today. Thanks for coming in, man.
Appreciate y'all inviting me.
Bear with me on this one. There are quite a few teams with this one. So you start off at Lamar, playing 4 solid years over in Lamar, D1 in Texas. Then you head over to Germany, and then hear me out. You go to Argentina, then the Memphis Hustle in the G League. Then you go over to Mexico, then Texas Legends, then Birmingham Squadron, both in the G League. Over to France, back to the G League, playing again for the Texas Legends. Then Santa Cruz Warriors, Westchester Knicks, and the Birmingham Squadron. Then you go over to Kosovo, and now you're over at SWAT.
And one more, Africa, Basketball Africa League.
There we go.
Basketball Africa. I knew I was going to miss one on this list.
And then in Signal, you also played with DJ Burns and Quay Grant, like we were talking about. So that's awesome. You know, they got you out here in Israel. So let's just go all the way back, man. What kind of started your love for basketball? What got that going for you?
I would say my love for basketball probably started somewhere in the early 2010s. I was a wrestling fan at first. I think basketball came last out of all the sports that I liked. So I was I want to be an NFL player because in Texas, football is huge. It's the cool thing to be a football player, and basketball is we'll watch that later. We're going to watch the Friday Night Lights first. So the first thing I seen was football. I wanted to be a running back, and I wanted to be a WWE wrestler because me and my brother just love wrestling at the house and everything. And then the last sport I picked up, and I played soccer before too. Last sport I picked up was basketball, and it was me and my friends started playing outside. Never played organized till middle school, but we were playing outside, and I was just this is pretty fun. Then I hit a growth spurt, and I was okay, this is gonna be my sport to keep moving forward with.
Did you not at all want go and play any football?
No, I started out playing football. So, I played football in middle school up until I was 14, 15-ish. And then my coaches were kind of you have to make a decision which one to go forward with. But when I seen, the NBA players in that early 2010s era, I think, me personally, that was one of the best eras to watch. Kobe, D. Rose, Bron, KD, Melo, you still got some of the older guys leaving, Tracy McGrady, and Allen Iverson is leaving 2011. So this era of basketball, I'm watching it, and these guys look like superheroes to me. And I was nah, Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I seen those guys, and the Dallas basketball scene was also growing so much in that time with Ball is Life coming, making all these mixtapes. I'm nah, basketball is the sport I want to play. So you decide to play organized basketball, and you say that happens late middle school. Is that starting out with AAU? How did you kind of get into the organized basketball scene? The first time I played organized basketball was in 7th grade, and I just tried out. I didn't do any AAU. That was my very first time playing on a team. And the funny thing is, we did the tryouts. I was the very last person to get picked. So I was not the best. You know what I mean? I think it was 40 guys or 30 guys, and it came down to me and this other dude. And I always remember that memory vividly. I'm sitting on the wall. Everybody's against the wall, and it's me and him, and the coach is just I'm please pick me. Please.
They were picking you like that?
Yeah, all right. Well, come on. So
it's like a pickup game.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's how they lined us up, and they're okay, you made the team, and I literally was the last guy to make the B team, not the A team, but this is the B team. And I started out as a third string bench player on the B team, and they had a requirement that every player has to get at least a minute and 30 seconds. So I think it would be the end of the first half, all the third string players, it's our time to shine. The coach has to put us in right now. So we would get a minute and a half in the first half, and then a minute and a half in the second half. And that was my first organized basketball. I only got 3 minutes a game for the first half of the season, and then I made it to second string. And then by the end of that season, I was starting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That first 7th grade season.
First 7th grade season.
And then you go 8th grade and you make the next team.
I made the A team, yeah.
You made the A team. And then at what point are you kind of like, all right, I got to do this full time now?
So I would say I got to 9th grade. Excuse me. I was still playing football and basketball in 9th grade. And I know the measurements in U.S. heights, but like I was 5'9" going into my freshman year. In my sophomore year, I hit like 6'3".
Wow.
So when I was playing football, everybody started like hitting my legs. And I was like, dang, like these knee tackles and stuff are really hurting. So I'm like, I might have to switch. And then honestly, football speed and basketball speed is two different things. And I was not fast enough to play football. Like I could catch the ball, and every time I got in the open field, they would just chase me down. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with basketball.
How hard was it to transition? As you said, you come from Texas, Friday Night Lights, everyone talking about how basketball is kind of that secondary sport. How hard was it to transition after also being third string B team to now saying that this is my main sport?
I wouldn't say it was that hard because I also had a lot of my friends playing basketball too. So it was more like I think I had the athleticism, but the skill gap was probably the hardest thing for me, like to get my skills lined up with everybody else that's been playing basketball since they were like 3rd grade, 4th grade. The ball handling, the shooting, the passing. But a lot of that stuff kind of came naturally to me for whatever reason. And I always had big hands too. So it kind of just made it easier for me to just at least finish around the rim and just have a natural feel for the game.
And at what point in high school are you kind of like, all right, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to go play D1?
I would say probably around the end of my sophomore year was the first time I was like, I remember I had an AAU tournament and I played really good. And then after the game, I was like, hey, coach, you think I could play D1? Like, I'm playing pretty good against these guys. And he was like, maybe. Like, he didn't tell me like a definite answer.
Real
like,
vote
I
of
mean,
confidence.
if you work hard, maybe you can do it. And I was like, I'll take it. You know, like maybe it's good enough. And I remember we had like this hashtag around that time. It was called D1 Bound. Everybody puts like D1 Bound in their bio on Twitter and Instagram. So that's the first time I put like D1 Bound in my bio. And that was when like my goal, like my sophomore year, it's like I don't care what Division I school I go to. I just want to say I went Division I. And if I could say that, it's a win. I didn't care about the NBA as much. It was just like, go D1. That was it. So
where did this work ethic come from? You know, we see a lot of players who end up having a career like you've had. You know, they from a very early age usually stood out, especially in the main sport that they chose, like basketball. Where did this work ethic to grind to your goals come from?
I would say probably just like my parents, man. Like my mom, my dad, like they're super, super hard workers. My mom is a nurse. My dad is a school teacher. And my dad would get up at like 5 o'clock every morning. My mom would work the whole night shift. So she would go to work at 7 o'clock at night, come back at 7 a.m. in the morning. So just like seeing them work hard every day kind of just inspired me and made it seem like it's easy. You know, this is basketball. They're actually doing real life stuff. I just got to dribble a basketball and shoot. And it kind of made it easier for me.
And then you end up choosing Lamar. What kind of went into that?
Lamar was my first offer. I did not get that offer till the end of my senior year. So most people get offers like throughout their high school career, maybe their junior year. I had 0 offers leaving my senior year. Like my last game was like February 28th. And I think I had like 1 JUCO. That was it. No D2s. So I continued playing in the summer like as an unsigned senior. Mm-hmm. I played at AAU for like a month or 2, and then a Lamar came around. And when I went to the school on a visit, it was unofficial. And the coach is like, hey, did you bring your basketball shoes? I'm like, yeah, I got them. Well, put them on because you're about to play against these seniors and these juniors. I'm like, oh, well. Throws me out there. I end up playing pretty good. Calls me into his office like, hey, you got an offer. I'm excited. So I'm like, hey, talk to my dad. He's like, hey, take it. So that was first offer. And I took it right there, like 15. He said you have like 30 minutes to answer. So I was like, I don't want to lose this.
That's crazy.
I'm not a top recruit, and that's what people don't understand. Not everybody has the luxury of being a top recruit and having like months to decide. Like, no, when you're coming in like from a lower level, these offers can be gone like this. So you got to make a decision. I made that decision, and then the next day I had like 4 more offers come through. But I was like, I'll stick with Lamar.
How validating was it after your journey that you've gone through to get that offer?
Like I said, man, just like my goal was D1. So in my head, it was very validating because I accomplished my goal. I didn't care. It was a lower major school, but I would say I still accomplished my goal of going D1. So it felt great.
So not only did you go D1, your freshman year you come in and you play all like 30 games, 18 minutes a game.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like you transitioned pretty seamlessly. Walk us through what that was like.
That's what it seems like. But honestly, like my first day there was hell, bro. Like we got there in the summer 1. I think I was 17 years old. I got there. I couldn't even sign my like recruitment papers and stuff because I wasn't 18 yet. So we get there in the first workout. I call my parents like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Like this is really hard. So that summer I was like 190, 6'6". I really was still growing. So I was playing against a lot bigger guys than me. So they were kicking my butt in practice. And I remember one time the coach came to me. He told me like, you're not gonna play. Just straight up. Like you're a freshman. You're not gonna play here. These guys are getting at you every day. And I kind of took that as like a challenge. He said, you're not gonna play. So that whole summer, I hit the weight room super hard, hit the gym super hard, and by that fall, I was starting. And I beat out a junior and a senior out of the starting position.
And then you go and you play for another couple of years. You do the whole 4 years there at Lamar, and in your third year, you ball out, right?
Yeah.
13 and 8 a game. So what kind of got you comfortable there, and what kind of made you play at such a high level in D1?
I would say learning how to be a pro, or at least a pro at that level. So coming into college, I didn't really know what to do outside of practice. It was more just like, if I show up at practice, I did my job. And I would literally show up 2 minutes before practice start. Like I'll be running from class, like put my shoes on, be in the locker room, just chilling, go on the court. But when it got to my junior and senior year, and I realized, okay, I could play this game at another level, I had to change my habits. And I had a coach who stayed on my butt about that, named Coach Burden, so shout out to him. But he was like, hey, if you want to go play at the next level, you got to change your habits. At first, I was really hard-headed with it, but as time went on, I started hearing him more clearly. And just with maturity, getting older. So I would start showing up to practice like an hour early, getting shots up, just practicing what I do in the game. And then like once I started doing that, changing my habits, actually working out in the summer, like my game just took a huge leap.
And then from Lamar, you take that leap, right? And you're balling out. 15 and 8 your senior year. You know, you're playing 31 minutes a game at the college level. So you're kind of like, all right, wait, maybe I have a career doing this, you know? So at what point are you like, all right, let me do this as a professional career? And at what point are you kind of like talking with agents? Do you have people in your ear? Are your parents helping you out? What was that whole process like?
So yeah, by my senior year, my junior year was the first time I really started like talking to agents. But by my senior year, in my head, I'm like, NBA. Like that's all I'm thinking is NBA. I'm looking at my name. I think I'm like top 5 in the nation in a field goal percentage as a big man. So I'm like, I'm seeing Zion Williamson. I'm seeing my name right under his. You know, I'm like, oh well, I must have some type of chance.
I feel like Zion's coming up every episode.
Zion's everywhere at this point. It's crazy.
But yeah, in terms of field goal percentage, I was top 5 in the country, and field goal percentage it was about like 68 or 69, and I'm doing that at 6'8". A lot of guys are 7 foot and stuff, so I'm getting NBA looks at this point just off the fact that I'm so efficient in scoring. So by the end of my senior year, I remember my coach was like, so what are you planning to do? And I was like, NBA, of course. And he was like, well, have you ever thought about overseas? I'm like, what is that? Like, because like a lot of Americans, we don't have we don't have like the luxuries of knowing about all these countries because we're like America's so big, we don't get to experience the world. Like we just know America. So like I'm just thinking NBA. I don't really have any friends overseas or nothing. So he's like, well, just think about it. And I'm like, okay, cool. But right now, focus on the league. So 2 NBA teams called, the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. They brought me in to work out with them. And I learned right there that I was not ready for the league yet. And I would say it wasn't fully my fault. I was playing at a mid-major. So like a lot of mid-major schools will have like undersized post players. Like you have a 6'8" guy playing. I was 6'8" playing center compared to the NBA's like 7-footers playing center. And they're like, okay, you're 6'8". You're a wing. You're a 3. You're a 4. I'm like, dang, well, I've been playing center for 4 years. They're like, oh, well, shoot 100 threes. I've shot 0 threes my whole college career. So
yeah, I'm looking and there's not one.
Yeah, 0 threes. So you could imagine how I looked in front of 30 NBA front office personnel. Just the whole, I'm just brick. And I'm in there with Grant Williams. Grant Williams is the guy I'm going up against. My workout, he comes in there, he's a splash. But he's at Tennessee. I'm pretty sure. Right? That's SEC. Like they're preparing him for this next level. Like, hey, you're gonna have to shoot threes in the league, regardless of what you're playing now. But I didn't have the luxury of having coaches that were at this level. I had to learn the hard way. So I remember I left. I was so defeated, bro. Like my agent called. He's like, "How'd you do?" Man, I don't even want to talk about it. My friends call me. They're like, "How'd you do?" And just to like show people how fast things happen, even though I wasn't prepared, it taught me a lesson on how you always have to be prepared in life. Like the day I got the call from the Oklahoma City Thunder, I think it was like 5 days away from the NBA draft. And I was pretty sad because I was like, dang, I haven't got any draft workouts yet. And I was sitting in with my friend at one of his mom's shop. I think I kind of gave up on the whole NBA dream and everything. I was like, the call isn't coming. I took 4 days off. It was my birthday weekend. Went to the club, partied 2 days, 3 days straight. I'm sitting there like, well, it's time to go overseas. Phone rings. Hey, Oklahoma City Thunder have a flight for you tonight. My agent, I'm like, okay, well, and it just taught me in life, like, you have to stay ready, regardless of what it looks like, regardless of your situation. You rather be safe than sorry.
Right.
At the end of the day.
That calls could come at any minute.
Any minute. You never know. You never know who's watching. You never know.
It's funny that you said like you're 6'8" center in a mid-major. But like then I was thinking straight to my head, I was like, Grant Williams was doing that in Boston too. And then you brought up Grant Williams. So
and he was shooting them threes too. That's what helped. those threes.
Threes help. So you're saying kind of that like you didn't have that. Essentially, you weren't prepared. No one told you that you're going to go and shoot 100 threes.
I didn't have an uncle in the NBA. I didn't have a cousin. I didn't have a coach. I had a lot of these guys, like a lot of guys have a luxury of knowing one person, just one person or two person that played in the league. Hey, if I play in the NBA, I look at you, you're 6'8" in college, I'm going to tell you, hey, you better start practicing those threes right now. That's what they're going to want you doing. So it's just my whole basketball career was me like learning firsthand by experience my whole career.
I know that it was a humbling moment also to work out for the league and come out the way that you did, but also it had to be so incredible and almost surreal to go from, like you said, being the last pick on a B team to now getting workouts for a hometown team like Houston Rockets. So what was that like?
I mean, that part, looking at it from that angle, and that's why they say like glass half empty, half full, like looking at it from that angle, that's amazing. And like the people that I played with in middle school and 7th grade are like, what? Like, you're an NBA workout. You have your name tag in the NBA locker room, and we're there with you too. Those guys are like, but the way I was looking at it at the time was like, I'm not good enough. But I mean, now like looking back at it, my gratitude is also different. Like, oh, that's a blessing to be there because a lot of guys don't even get to experience that in general. So I'll take all those experiences and I hold on to them at the end of the day.
And then you have those NBA draft workouts, and it doesn't go your way, but you're thinking now, okay, overseas, do you have an agent that's talking to you? You said your assistant coach was kind of helping you out. What ended up making that decision to go over to Germany playing in the second league over there?
I just heard good things about Germany in general. Like a lot of rookies start out there. And second league of Germany is not like the highest paying league, but usually if you can put up some good stats, it'll help you. It's a respected country, so if you put up good stats as a rookie there, you can move up pretty quickly. So that decision was just the safest option. You know, like safest option is usually like, okay, NBA doesn't work out, Europe immediately, like Germany, France, Spain. Some of those countries are like considered safe when it comes to the business of basketball.
Well, you ended up going to the G League. Did you think about the G League out of your college career, going there first, or?
Nah, I never really thought too much about the G League either. I didn't even know much about the G League until probably like my third year of professional basketball.
Right, because you go Germany, have a solid year, you bounce over to Argentina, kill over there, and then you go and you do that one game with the Memphis Hustle.
Yeah, so
what happened over there?
The way that happened was after I left Argentina, I went to the Basketball Africa League, which was the first year it started, and it was the NBA actually created that league to bring more talent out of Africa. They saw guys like Giannis, Joel Embiid, a lot of African players in the league, and they're saying, oh, these guys actually have pretty good raw skills as far as athleticism, run and jump in, but we can teach them how to shoot, dribble, and we're gonna have some good players. So the NBA started looking at Africa as a gold mine of talent. Just like, you find guys in Europe, let's find guys in Africa too. So that was the first year of that league. I heard about it through the grapevine. I think one of my agents hit me up about it, and he was like, this might be a good opportunity. So I went there, and there were like tons of NBA scouts at the games, tons. And they're like, oh, like I averaged like 21 points a game in that league. It was like 4 games though, short. But they're like, hey, this guy looks good enough, but we want to see some more. So at that point, I'm like, where would they see me better? Where would they get a better look at me, in the G League or overseas? And I thought to myself, I'm still kind of young. This is my 3rd year, so probably overseas. I mean, probably in the G League. So that's what
you do that, there. But you go to the G League, you only play one game.
Yeah, so I started out with the Austin Spurs, and I made training camp roster, and then I got released. Then I went to the Memphis Hustle, and this was like around the time COVID was going on. So a lot of players are moving up and down from the league. They're going on 10 days. They're coming down. And every time the player goes up, it's like a trickle-down effect. From like a player goes up to the NBA, then the G League team loses a roster spot. So they need a new player. So at the time I got called up, or I played with the Memphis Hustle. A player got called up to the Orlando Magic, and then they had an opening for 10 days. That's when they called me.
And you get that one game. But you played, you got 6 and 7 in that one game.
I was ready though. I was like I said,
this time you were doing it.
This time I was ready. So like I said, it goes back to me learning that lesson. I don't care when the call comes, I'm going to be ready. So they called me. They put me on a first-class flight to Memphis. I got there. I played the next day, and I think they threw me right into the fire. I wouldn't say I started, but I got good minutes. Played against the Warriors that game. I remember that was my first game. I played against Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody for
Those
the
are
Warriors.
Some hoopers.
Oh, there were some hoopers, and I was able to see like at the first hand that the NBA level, the difference between the NBA level and overseas level. But that was my first introduction to the G League, and it was fun. Even though I got released, they still had great hospitality. I still kept relationships with the coaches and the players from that team.
Super important.
It was just business. It was nothing personal.
Along the line, that helps because you don't know where you're going to end up, and they might end up in the same team with you in a different place, right? Because it's such a small world, the basketball world, like we talk about all the time. But you stay in the continent, you stay in North America, and you go down to Mexico. Yeah. So what was Mexico like?
Man, Mexico was different. Mexico was different. It was an experience. The cool thing about Mexico was the coach I had for my team was also a former NBA coach. He coached in the NBA for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And I actually ended up playing under a former NBA coach, and then I played under a former NBA player and coach also. So I had some guys that were kind of connected with the NBA there, and that's what led me to that decision too, because I wanted to stay near the business and maybe they could put good recommendations in for me. So I think Mexico was a good opportunity for me to get a lot of minutes because that season I only played one game with the Memphis Hustle, but I went out there and I was able to play minutes and kind of show like, all the work I've been putting in behind closed doors meant something. And I went out there, had a pretty good season.
So you leveraged that into genuinely playing actually in the G League this time, of not just one game, but 25 games for the Legends, 15 games for Birmingham. Can you walk us through, I mean, you're ready now. What was that like?
Yeah, so the next season I came in having a way better grasp of the G League and how it works. Is even though I was with Memphis for one game, I also was with Oklahoma City for 2 weeks. I didn't play a game, but I practiced for 2 weeks, and I was with Austin. So a lot of the sets in the NBA and G League are kind of interchangeable. Every team runs the same plays. So when I came into training camp the second season for my G League, it wasn't like it didn't take long for me to get what was going on. I knew exactly what was going on, the defensive schemes, the offensive schemes, the terms, the coverages. So it kind of helped me transition a lot easier. And then I think that season I went to training camp with the Legends, and I still got cut this time. And that just shows you how crazy the business is, because I had a great training camp.
Yeah.
Like, amazing. I came to the GM. He said, there's literally nothing else you could have done. This is just purely business. And I had 2 bigs in front of me that were both, like, on contracts with the Mavericks. So I ended up getting cut training camp November 7th, and the first game was November 10th. In those 3 days, the player that was starting ends up being hurt for the rest of the season.
Oh, shit.
He breaks his foot in practice. So I think he played out here. His name is Marcus Bingham.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Played with a pole last year.
Yeah. So really good player. Yeah, really good player. Cool guy too. He ends up breaking his foot. So I'm sitting there at the house, staying ready. Now. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not partying. I'm not partying. I'm staying ready. I'm in the gym every day. And I want to say the day of the game or the day before the game, the Legends call me back. Like, hey, are you available? I'm ready. I'm still in Dallas. So call me, and I still end up being on the opening day roster for the Legends that year. And I played the first game. I put up like decent stats, like 7. I think I had like 7 and 7, but decent stats.
For your time there, you were averaging 7 and 6. So
yeah. So
but you play there, and again, this is your start of a real G League experience. You know, staying ready was a super important thing, right? Because you never know when that call is gonna get picked up. But you play there with Jaden Hardy, right?
Oh my gosh, we're stacked.
We're stacked.
Tyler Dorsey,
we're loaded,
who's going off in the EuroLeague, right?
We're loaded. Yeah.
And then you also, down the list, you also had Todd Withers there.
Todd Withers, yeah, that's my
and
guy.
And he's out here now.
Yeah, that's my guy.
So what was your relationship like with him, and how is it like now coming back here in Israel, and then you see him also playing here in Israel?
Man, Todd was one of the first guys I seen when I got out here. When he found out I was out here, and I found out, I was like, oh, you're here too? Like, we linked up immediately. But, like, Todd, I think he came from Australia or Turkey at the time, mid-season. And the way the G League works is like a revolving door. So many new guys that come in, and some guys, like, you just don't really talk to, but some guys you just hit it off with immediately. And me and Todd were, like, in the same position, but it wasn't, like, awkward or anything. He was like, yeah, I understand the business. You get it. We just hit it off. We're cool immediately. So down the road, it was great seeing him here in Israel. And that team, I think that year, almost every guy on that team played in the NBA, though.
It's a stacked team.
Bro.
No, NBA or EuroLeague.
NBA or EuroLeague, yeah.
Which is big. AJ Lawson.
Oh, my God.
Killer.
You know?
Yeah.
Some good. Taze Moore is also tough.
Taze. He's in Italy right now, yeah. That's my guy.
So now, going from Texas, you know, played in Birmingham, G League. Now we go back overseas to France. Play with Quimper.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're in France, new country.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Man, France, it's just a blur in my head. It was so fast because the season ended in the G League, and I went to help the team like contend for playoffs.
To go up to the first league.
Yeah. So It was like 5 games left in the season, and I got there, and they were just like, it didn't go like how I planned in my head. Because I was kind of expecting to get there and like play 30, but I was playing like 18 minutes a game.
Wow, yeah, that was dead on. Yeah,
18.
18.8 minutes.
Yeah, and it was like, you guys want me to get 15 points to 18 minutes. I'm not touching the ball. I'm not like getting plays ran for me. So
you playing the 5 over there?
I was playing the 5, a little bit of 4.
Yeah.
But I would say that experience was like okay. I was in the far west side of France. It wasn't Paris, so like I was expecting something totally different in my head. It was like an older city, more quiet, but it was a quick stop, and I think it was cool. I still made some good relationships out there.
So talk about that. You know, you went to so many different places, and like we said, you know, you never know when you're going to meet someone down the line, whether it's an assistant coach, or even a trainer or another player, right? So what was it like just building relationships in these different places?
The number one thing is just like, don't be an asshole, you know, like regardless of the situation, you might go there, you might not even want to be there, but it's just like, you never know where you're going to see somebody else down the line. And every time I come into a situation, the first thing I do is I give respect, regardless if you're the first guy on the team, the 15th, if you're the towel guy, if you're a water boy, I give respect to everybody because the way the business works, people move up, people move down, you just never know. So that's the first thing, and just understanding everybody's human. You know, this is bigger than basketball. So even though you might be in your head sometimes, you had an off night, just try to do your best to get to know the people you're around. Sometimes, you know, you guys get really cool. Sometimes you don't. But just be a human and treat people how you want to be treated.
It sounds to me that you can get some of that humility. You can trace it back to also you coming from the humble beginnings of not being the star ranked player, of you getting kind of put on that. So.
For sure. I know how it feels to be the last guy on the bench. I know how it feels to be the star player. So I've been in every single position. You know what I mean? So. And just also from the way my parents teach me, that's just the values they've taught me. But that definitely made a big difference for sure.
So after France, you go back over to the G League. You bounce around 4 different teams in the same year. Can you walk us through what that was like? I mean, you've talked a lot about how the movement is crazy in the G League.
Yeah, it's a crazy business. The NBA and the G League is just a crazy business. But that year, man, I started out with Birmingham,
Texas.
Well, I was with Birmingham in training camp. This was
so Birmingham in training camp?
Yeah, it was a training camp.
Oh, man.
So I started out with Birmingham. I returned to Birmingham.
Right.
So
Later
in my
on.
head, this is 2 years in the G, and I'm thinking I finally have solidified myself. I got a team that wanted me to come back, come to training camp. They're like, everything is good. Don't worry. We want you back. I get cut. Training camp.
What's that process like? What's it like getting cut from a team that tells you that they want you back?
Man, it's a horrible feeling, man, because it's just like I wasn't going to come back unless you told me to come back. Because me personally, I'm a Texas guy. Like I wanted to go back to Texas, but they're like, we want you to come back. So it taught me like how cutthroat the business is. Like you can never really take anybody's word. As bad as it sounds, it's like if it's not on paper and writing, it's not 100% solid. So like, take everything at face value. Like, don't really take anything. You got to take everything like it's a business at the end of the day. So, you know, they told me some roster changes happened with the Pelicans, which trickled down. Whatever happened, I'm like, cool. I go home and Texas ends up calling me. That's where I wanted to be anyway. So, Texas ended up calling me, and then I went from Texas back to Birmingham eventually. But in between that, I was with Santa Cruz and the Westchester Knicks.
Yeah.
But that was a crazy. That time was so crazy because I literally played for 3 teams in 3 weeks.
So at this moment, were you saying to yourself that this is it? I'm staying here. Like this, I'm not moving around again.
Man,
like,
the thing about the G League is you don't really have a choice. Like you're in the player pool, right?
It's just rotating.
You sign a contract to the G League. You're not signing a contract to an actual team. So,
oh wow, okay.
That's new.
As long as your name is available there, a team can literally acquire you, and they have your rights.
So let's talk about that a little bit more. So you're saying, let's say you're done with Texas, now you go to Santa Cruz. You're not signing with Santa Cruz?
No, it's just like you might have to sign some medical waivers, but it's more like you're signed to the G League.
And then any NBA team can take you?
Any team could take you at that point.
Because I remember before you said there was a player who played with you over in Texas or for Memphis Hustle, and then the Magic got him.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. Any team can take you. And the craziest part about me leaving Texas and going to Santa Cruz, I was suiting up for the game. I'm in the warm-ups. I get a tap on my shoulder. I'm mid-sweat, like full sweat going. Hey, the GM wants to see you. GM wants to see me. What? The game's about to start. This is about 30 minutes until the game starts. Hey, man, Kyrie Irving just got injured with the Mavericks. We had to make some roster changes and sign a point guard. Two-way guy comes in. I don't know. This shook things up, and all of a sudden, I'm in the office with the GM. I'm getting cut 30 minutes before the game starts. I'm still in my shorts. I got my tank top on. I'm ready to play. So the game is about to start. I'm going back to the locker room. The guys are looking at me like, yo, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you getting dressed? Hey, you know what I mean?
And like everyone in the locker room's like, oh, okay, this is another story.
They're
right?
just like they're like, we want to say we're surprised, but
they're not surprised.
Everybody gets so desensitized to the business at that level. It's like people see so much. So
does that take some of the not the magic out of the game, but the joy and the love for playing? Does that take some of it out of it?
If you let it, it can get to you, but at the same time, you have to see like both sides of it. Like it's a blessing to be able to play, but everything you do in life comes with the good and bad. So you have to take the good of I'm being able to play in front of all these people, and I'm in Dallas. Everybody's coming to see me play. I'm like a hometown hero. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm playing for my hometown team, and I'm from here. And then this is the bad side of it. So everything you do comes with the good and the bad, and it's like that's what you're signing up for.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Nobody forces us to sign up for it. At the end of the day, you just gotta take what comes with it. You know.
So you do the 4 teams in the G League, and then the next season you go over to Sigal Pristina, where we talked about having DJ Burns and Quay over there. But going into this year, 2024, 2025, are you kind of like, don't, like to your agent, like, don't take any G League calls.
No more.
Yeah. Basically, I was like, look, unless this is a guaranteed situation, like
a two-way deal.
A two-way E10, I'm not trying to go. Even the last G League team to call me that season was Birmingham. I literally, when they called me, I said, I'm not coming. That was in March.
It's the same team that told you they want you.
Yeah. So I said, I'm not coming. And like I said, the way the G League works, they're like, well, we already got your rights, so you can do what you want to do, but we have your rights. So I had a plane ticket going to Birmingham next day.
So then you end up saying no to the G League for the next year.
No to the G League, yeah.
And we're going over to Kosovo.
Yeah.
So Kosovo, it's probably very cold, very different place than where you were at before in America.
For sure.
What was it like being there and actually playing in Kosovo, and what was it like having DJ and Quay over there?
Man, first of all, Eastern Europe is a different experience than the States or Germany, France, Argentina, Mexico. Is totally different experience. And that was actually my first year doing a full season overseas up to that point, because I've been in the G, I was in Germany, but it was all kind of like 2-3 months at a time, quick stops. So this was the first year I was like alone for 8-9 months in Europe, and it was a grind, honestly, like mentally, physically. It was the first place I played with no car, really, in Europe. So it was like 20 degrees outside, and we're having to walk to practice.
Ooh.
It's snowing. I don't have the right boots. I don't have the right jacket. I'm not prepared.
You got cold feet going into the gym?
Yeah, and like the gyms don't all have heat, you know? So it's like we're playing basketball, but it's like, let me check the weather before I go on the court. But it's like, I'm playing basketball. Why am I checking the weather? Like, it was a grind. But my whole goal for last season was like, every team I played for asked me, why haven't you played through a full season? Mm-hmm. I'm tired of hearing that question.
Right.
So let me, regardless of what happens this year, if it's cold, if the gym is cold, if the coach is doing this, if the team is not paying on time, I'm riding it out. I don't care.
And you play there 25 minutes a game, 26 games. But like you said, it's cold, right?
Yeah.
At what point during the game are you finally warmed up, really?
In the first half.
First half?
Yeah. But and playing with DJ and Quay was just fun, honestly. Like, DJ brings so much energy to the court. Quay, his game, it reminds me of like Donovan Mitchell.
Facts.
I always tell him, like,
great call.
Donovan Mitchell. So like us on the court, they just made the game really fun. And off the court, like, regardless of all the stuff that we're going through, like having those guys with me made my experience a lot easier.
Yeah, and he's got that Donovan Mitchell build too.
For sure. Yeah.
So they end up actually going over to Rishon that year, and you ride it out. You remember, like, you're like, nah, I'm not taking any excuses. I'm riding out the whole year. You do the whole year, and then next year comes around, and like you're hearing. Even you said earlier during the FIBA break, you want to come out to Israel, you want to see what it's like, and you're hearing about Israel, and DJ and Quay are like, oh, it's great. And in the summer, you know, Todd signs over here. So now, the following summer after Kosovo, when are you kind of like, all right, I want to go to Israel?
Oh, like as soon as the summer started, like my agent is like, hey, what are your top 3 choices? I'm like, Israel. I think it was like Israel, Taiwan, or like France, but Israel was really like where I wanted to go, just because Quay and DJ, they told me great things. They're like, the weather here is great, and they know me. They're like, you'll love it, just because it's like more similar to the States compared to like coming to Eastern Europe or Germany or France. A lot of people here speak English, and the culture here is just like a lot. It's probably the closest to the States you're gonna get out of all the other overseas countries I played in.
I mean, going from Kosovo, as you said, you know, where you're checking the weather every single day about whether or not you can like survive practice, to now you have to check the weather just to see if you should maybe put on a sweatshirt at some point. You know, that had to be a great transition as well.
For sure. Like, I can't even stress how much of a difference like just weather makes, and you kind of realize it when you like meet people from New York and Michigan. Like, these guys are a little angry because it's cold, man. Like,
Chicago,
you know
we have that a little bit.
Yeah, Chicago too. Like it's cold, and like the cold just makes you like, man, I don't even want to
tightens you up.
Yeah, just tighten. Like, you go meet people from Cali, they're just like chill. You know, Florida, like chill, because the weather just like makes a big difference. It's in your mental health. Like, I might have had a bad game, but at least I can go to a beach, sit here, you know, chill.
So you go to Tzfat, of all places in Israel. Tzfat is like known as like one of those more traditional, you know, spiritual places. So what has it been like off the court in Tzfat specifically for you?
Off the court, honestly, like from what I expected, I thought everybody would be like kind of super religious into themselves, but like the people have been super, super welcoming. Like the amount of Shabbat dinners I've been invited to since I got here.
Incredible.
I mean, you can just meet a random person in the street, shake their hand, they're inviting you to their house the next day, you know? So the people are super nice, man. Like, they'll bring me food after the games, invite me to Shabbat every Saturday, and just they've really tried to make me feel as comfortable as they can. So they notice like, okay, this might be a little harder transition for you, and they do everything they can to make me feel like I'm at home. So I really respect them for that.
Right, and you rode out that season last year, right? And we come over here, you know. Even playing 8 games is a lot with a team for you, and like you are playing 32 minutes a game. This is the most you've been playing. You even had your first game of the season, you played 38 minutes. How's that been like for your body, and like what's it been like playing so many minutes?
It's a big transition as far as like how I take care of my body. A lot of the stuff I got away with playing 25 minutes, 22 minutes, I can't do now. Like, I'm a big candy guy, like eat a lot of candy, and sometimes I don't drink enough water, but like now, like playing 30, I could feel it, you know what I mean? And it forces me to kind of like tighten up my habits. Like, I have to be in the weight room. I have to do those little things to keep my body operating as good as it can, because 38, 34, 33 minutes, any little thing you do, you're going to feel it out there, whether it's cramping or whether it's the fourth quarter and you can't explode how you want to. So I think the good thing about it is it forces me to take care of myself and practice professional habits.
It's got to be almost like a torture to come to a place like Israel where off the court there's everything at your disposal, and then that's where you realize you got to lock in.
Yeah, for sure. But, you know, everything is a balance. Like, obviously, I have a lot of friends playing here. Like, I know at least 7, 8 guys I played with or I know that are out here. So I still have the social life, have the aspect. But when it's time for me to lock in on the court for that 4 or 5 hours of the day, I'm doing that. You know, I make sure every box I have to hit consistently, I do that every single day.
Is that a big difference for you having those friends here? Because even though there's teams all over the country's so small that you can really get to every place kind of easily. So is that different for you having that like vibe of like different guys here that you know?
Totally different, because most countries I played in, I never left the city that I was playing, whether it's a small city or a big city. But this one, like, I'm in Tel Aviv, I'm in Haifa, I'm just wherever my friends are at, we're meeting up and we're going out, we're getting some food, we're catching up. So that's been a big difference. It's in like the mental part of it, and adding that social aspect to basketball really makes me feel more at home. Because, you know, at home I can go meet my friends and just do something outside of basketball. But other countries I played in is just basketball. That's it. So that's definitely like helped ease my mind and make me feel more comfortable here.
Do you think it's a place that kind of makes you feel at home in a sense that you would want to stay here longer term?
For sure. Yeah, I told everybody that I talked to on the phone, like, I'm at least in Israel another 2 years, like at least. But I would not mind staying here for the rest of my career if like that's what it came down to. Just because out of all the leagues, I don't see which countries beating this when I add everything up in terms of the weather, good basketball, very easy to travel. Just a lot of aspects that would make me stay here.
Right.
You trying to convince some people to come over?
Hey, if it sounds good, if it sounds like it's a good thing for you, I would say.
Right, for sure. But even like leagues like Germany or France that are really good, you still got to fly out like 4 hours to like play another team.
The leagues like France and Germany are cool, but you have to deal with 6 months of winter. I'm from Texas. You know what I'm saying? That's why me personally,
no winter.
I'm from Texas, so like I'm used to warmer weather. Maybe if you're from New York or up north state, those countries are easier for you to transition to. But for me personally, I love Israel.
So as we wrap up, what's kind of some advice you would give a guy who is leaving his phone to the side? You know, he's not staying ready because a team hasn't signed him yet. And, you know, a guy who's played in so many different teams like you, what do you tell someone like to stay persistent?
It goes back to like the most simple term is you would rather be safe than sorry, and sometimes opportunities will only knock once. Like the pain. I think I read something like the pain of regret is far worse than the pain of discipline. Discipline, it hurts. It does hurt to get up and go to the gym. You don't have a team. You don't know what's going on. But when you look back 5 years ago and say, dang, if I would have been ready for that one opportunity, my whole life could be different. Looking back and thinking that is just like something that if you could prevent, do it. I learned the hard way. Like I said, I had my call. Who knows if the Oklahoma City Thunder called me and I was ready, who knows where I could have been. But I still have faith that I'm going to end up where I'm supposed to be regardless. But yeah, the pain of discipline is not as bad as the pain of regret. So,
wow, yeah, I needed that. I'm going for a run tonight. That's
for
what's
sure.
happening.
Yeah. So as we wrap up every episode, we do this little segment called the shot clock, and we just do rapid fire questions. You can pass, and we'll get into it.
All right, you want to go first?
Let me think. All right, I got it.
You got it. All right, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Favorite warm up song.
Right now, shot calling NBA YoungBoy.
Favorite basketball movie.
He Got Game.
Weightlifting or cardio?
Ooh, weightlifting for sure.
Night out or night in?
Night out.
Best clubbing scene in the world.
Ooh, I'll say Houston, Texas. Yeah.
Favorite weather.
Warm.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think we all saw that one coming.
I was gonna say winter or summer. I don't know. All right. Well, thank you for coming in, Josh. We really appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck this year, and that's the baseline, man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys.